I'd heard about it, but of course hearing about it, when you read a scene like that, which was, of course that scene was...
Anthony Perkins hid hospital visits under fake names, Hedy Lamarr secretly invented Wi-Fi, and Rock Hudson's AIDS confession stunned the world. But they're just the start. Here are 25 shocking secrets old Hollywood stars took to their graves. The last entry will stun you. Number 25, Jean Harlow.
They're looking for new blood. Don't tell me they haven't got ways of finding it. Oh, I see. You're waiting for the nobility to...
She's only 26 when she dies, but what really happened? Jean Harlow, platinum blonde, dominated early 1930s Hollywood. Her last film, Saratoga, was released after her death using body doubles. For years, rumors swirled of foul play, but the medical truth only surfaced later. She suffered from uremic poisoning, or kidney failure, triggered by complications from childhood scarlet fever and a blotched wisdom tooth surgery. Clark Gable later claimed that he smelled urine when he kissed her, and that was a sign the damage was already irreversible. MGM initially planned to recast her role entirely, but public outcry forced them to finish it with stand-ins. As secrets about health and betrayal haunt Harlow, the next story shifts to war, heroism, and a death that shocked a nation. Number 24, Carole Lombard.
Yes, Gran, I read a swell book about a girl who kills her father.
She's flying home from a war mission and vanishes mid-air. By January of 1942, Carole Lombard was deeply invested in America's fight. On a war bond tour, she helped raise over $2 million for World War II efforts, far beyond expectations. Instead of returning by train, she boarded the TWA Flight No. 3 on January the 16th. The plane strikes Mount Potosi near Las Vegas, and all 22 aboard perish, including Lombard, her mother, and staff. At the time, wartime blackout protocols had disabled safety beacons. Some suspect sabotage or navigation error in the dark skies. Even today, theories swirl. Was she hurrying home because of Clark Gable's rumored entanglements? Or was there something darker at play? From a patriotic mission ending in tragedy, we turn next to a star whose private life hid espionage and scandal. Number 23, Errol Flynn.
Told you how I was drunk and disorderly and disgraced her over 2 continents. It's all true, you know.
He died as a swashbuckler icon, but the secret surfaced later. Errol Flynn was famed for Robin Hood and Captain Blood, the ultimate dashing hero. Yet, after his death, scandalous claims emerge. Biographer Charles Hyam asserts that Flynn covertly worked as a Nazi spy, citing declassified FBI files. That explosive claim sits alongside lesser-known revelations. His posthumous autobiography, My Wicked, Wicked Ways, released in 1959, disclosed wild affairs, heavy drinking, and ruthless studio battles. He died in Vancouver at age 50, but his autopsy revealed a body aged like a 75-year-old, cirrhosis, heart disease, liver degeneration. One shocking detail, at the end of life he was dating Beverly Adland, who was underage. From dashing hero to moral enigma, Flynn's shadow life paves the way for our next star's dark legacy. Number 22, Joan Crawford.
Wanted to work with her since we were at Warner Brothers together, and
She appeared steely and controlled, but her daughter's memoir shattered the image. Joan Crawford built a career from the silent era to the 1970s, a paragon of strength and reinvention. But years after her death, her adopted daughter Christina published Mommy Dearest, 1978, alleging severe abuse, wire hangers, emotional cruelty, relentless control. Until then, the public knew only her Hollywood persona. Crawford's foe became a national controversy, polarizing her legacy for decades. One rarely cited fact: Crawford was said to have dictated, before dying, that no post-mortem reveal her insides, an attempt to block future scrutiny. How could such a glamorous icon harbor such private cruelty? Well, that contrast reveals a deeper pattern of concealment leading into the next tale. Number 21, Judy Garland.
I mean, sort of disgustingly rich. And so
There's
that
nothing wrong with that.
No, not.
She's adored on stage, but her greatest chains were behind the scenes. Judy Garland rose to fame as Dorothy in The Wizard of Oz, but her private torment was hidden under studio gloss. Only after her 1969 death did it become clear how deeply she was controlled. Studios routinely handed her amphetamines to perform, sedatives to sleep. Garland's doctor once privately wrote that she was a machine, not a human. Her death certificate cites an accidental barbiturate overdose, but fans and biographers argue she was trapped in pill dependency caused by exploitative systems. One strange detail, Garland allegedly entered films suffering from an extreme vitamin deficiency and chronic pain, conditions ignored by contract doctors. As Garland's hidden suffering reveals, our next actor also fought inner battles the public never saw. Let's look into number 20. Number 20, Montgomery Clift.
I quit my job. Mr. Eastman was good enough to say that if I came through here...
Montgomery Clift, one of Hollywood's most gifted actors, never publicly admitted what close friends knew. He was gay in an era that crushed careers for it. After his 1966 death at only 45 years old, colleagues like Elizabeth Taylor revealed the truth. He starred in just 17 films, yet delivered 4 Oscar nominations. His 1956 car crash left him disfigured, addicted to painkillers and living in torment. Biographers later labeled his last decade the longest suicide in history. Letters unearthed showed Clift's anguish about hiding who he really was. Clift's secrecy exposes how image controlled lives, something our next star, Rita Hayworth, also endured, but in an even more heartbreaking way. Number 19, Rita Hayworth.
Then we went out to the studio. I had to rehearse this afternoon, and that's the reason I'm late for the reception.
Rita Hayworth was once dubbed the Love Goddess after starring in Gilda in 1946. Yet, after her death in 1987, doctors confirmed she hadn't been an alcoholic, as tabloids suggested. She had had Alzheimer's disease, years before the public knew much about it. Her erratic behavior, forgetting lines, missing cues, was cruelly mocked as diva antics. It wasn't until her autopsy that the medical truth came out, turning her into a symbol for Alzheimer's awareness. The Rita Hayworth Gala has since raised over $100 million for research. Hayworth's tragic misunderstanding shows how Hollywood mislabels illness. But our next star, Marlon Brando, left behind a different storm, one involving secret children and shocking confessions. Number 18, Marlon Brando.
That's why, please, on this network every night, well, perhaps not every night, but you can see.
Marlon Brando, Hollywood's rebel, won 2 Oscars and changed acting forever. But after his 2004 death, court documents revealed the full extent of his complicated family. He had 11 acknowledged children, but lawsuits exposed secret ones, including Cheyenne, whose suicide in 1995 shattered him. Brando's 1990s testimony in the murder trial of his son Christian, who killed Cheyenne's boyfriend, resurfaced as evidence of a tortured dynasty. Even more stunning, unsealed wills disclosed a hidden daughter in the Pacific. From Brando's stormy household, we slide into another Hollywood king, Clark Gable, whose own buried scandal only came out decades after his passing. Number 17, Clark Gable.
Any kid who can handle himself, and he doesn't have to be an All-American to get into good shape.
Clark Gable, the king of Hollywood, carried a secret he never admitted. Decades after his 1960 death, letters confirmed he fathered a daughter with actress Loretta Young during a 1935 affair. Hollywood PR buried the pregnancy, shipping Young overseas, then staging the child's adoption. The daughter, Judy Lewis, didn't learn the truth until adulthood. Her striking resemblance to Gable forced questions. Lewis later recalled Gable never acknowledged her publicly, though they met once. It took nearly 70 years for the story to be confirmed by DNA. If Gable's scandal shocked fans, Marilyn Monroe's revelations after death pulled the curtain back on conspiracies that still spark debate today. Number 16, Marilyn Monroe.
I would like to say that I'm fully confident that in the end my husband will.
FBI files released years later showed Monroe was closely monitored, her every move, associate, and political sentiment tracked. She appeared in a vault of 104 pages documenting associations, secret letters, and suspicions during the McCarthy era. The files mentioned acquaintances with leftist figures and trips to Mexico tangled with rumors of communist links. Some correspondents suggest Hoover's bureau feared she could spill secrets about Kennedy ties. Until that release, the world thought of Marilyn as glamorous and tragic, but not a subject of federal surveillance. Her story of public shine and private scrutiny sets the stage for the next star's secret war inside her heart. Number 15, Elizabeth Taylor.
I shouldn't bother to buy one, dear. In that wig, you could play Lassie.
Same adorable sense of humor.
She dazzled on screen, but only after her death did people grasp her quiet power. Elizabeth Taylor was legendary for 8 marriages and her gem collection. But from the mid-1980s, after her dear friend Rock Hudson's AIDS announcement, she became an activist. She helped found the National AIDS Research Foundation, merging it into AMFAR, and later established the Elizabeth Taylor AIDS Foundation, funding millions herself. Her estate continues donating 25% of royalties towards it. She testified before Congress in 1986 and 1992, pushing for the Ryan-White Care Act. Taylor's fierce philanthropic evolution emerged after she left the screen, proof that her greatest roles often played out in real life, behind headlines. Number 14, Paul Lynde.
They like it or not, and I said, yes, they do. It's just that it's so vast and so big.
He made audiences laugh day after day, yet he kept unspoken struggles sealed. Paul Lynde, famous for Hollywood Squares, died in 1982 at only 55 years old. Only after that did insiders openly acknowledge he lived closeted in an era that punished deviation. Reports say he feared studio blackballing, so his sexuality was never publicly addressed. Some claimed he arranged secret romances, guarded by silence and cautious secrecy. His comedic persona masked vulnerabilities he could never unveil in his lifetime. Lynde's hidden life reminds us how fame sometimes demands erasure. Next, we turn to Ava Gardner and the love scandal she concealed. Number 13, Ava Gardner.
I haven't walked that far since some palpitating halfback tried to tell me he'd run out of gas.
She burned with passion, but only after she passed did the full storms unravel. Ava Gardner married Bing Crosby and Frank Sinatra, but her later year memoirs, published posthumously, revealed raw affairs and heartbreaks she never disclosed. She confessed to intense romance with Sinatra, Howard Hughes, and even mob figures. Her relationships spanned continents, Cuba, London, Hollywood, all laden with jealousy and risk. Her tragic, dramatic love life sparked studio denials and blackouts in the celebrity press. Those buried chapters reframed her public image as not just glamorous, but fiercely autonomous and heartbreakingly human. Gardner's revelations contrast with the secret life of James Dean, our next icon, whose own hidden identity adds another twist. Number 12, James Dean.
I started racing, and now I drive on the highways.
He lived fast, died young, but his truth was buried. James Dean starred in only 3 major films, Rebel Without a Cause, East of Eden, and Giant, before his 1955 death at age 24 years old. In the decades after, biographers pieced together letters and testimonies revealing He was likely bisexual, with romances spanning men and women. According to some sources, he paid $800 to silence a male lover threatening to go public, an enormous sum then. Elizabeth Taylor and others claim he told them about being abused by his childhood minister, trauma that haunted him. His life was more than a tragic car crash. It was a labyrinth of identity, secrecy, and pain. This tangled biography leads us into the next legend's hidden liaisons, Laurence Olivier. Number 11, Laurence Olivier.
I realized at once, I saw him in the film, I realized at once that we were very similar in type.
A British icon, but a private life filled with shadows. Sir Laurence Olivier, knighted and revered, maintained an image of dignity. In secret, letters and memoirs later revealed decades-long emotional and possibly romantic connections to both men and women, particularly his lifelong friendship with actor Danny Kaye. His marriage to Vivian Leigh concealed tension over his loyalty to old flames. Olivier escorted Kaye's invited, ignored calls, cutting off intimacy quietly. Biographers argue he compartmentalized love, reputation, and institution, so his public image never matched hidden desires. Olivier's duality shows how even the noblest facade can hide a private storm. Next, Tallulah Bankhead's fearless life and diaries they tried to bury. Number 10, Tallulah Bankhead.
I'm the helpless type, darling, didn't you know? I think I'll gamble. I feel lucky.
Her talent charmed millions. Her scandals outraged even more. Tallulah Bankhead reveled in controversy. Posthumously, her diaries and interviews unveiled a life of unapologetic sexuality, affairs with actors, politicians, and artists, open bisexual identity, and wild parties few knew. She once quipped she was a very satisfied Jane after a rendezvous with Johnny Weissmuller in a hotel pool. In 1932, she publicly lamented she had gone too long without an affair, a rare candid confession in that era. Even after her death, fans discovered unpublished letters echoing clandestine love affairs across continents. Her revelry laid bare that fame often silenced truth. Number 9, George Reeves.
Around and around the rugged rocks, the ragged rascal ran.
He played Superman on screen, but his end raised more questions than answers. George Reeves died in 1959 from a gunshot wound to the head. Officially, it was suicide, but decades later, confidential LAPD files and press investigations revealed inconsistencies. No definitive bullet trajectory, missing witnesses, and possible mob links. Some evidence links him to organized crime figures and Hollywood power brokers who may have seen him as a liability. His tombstone reads, Superman, but in truth, his life was disillusionment, studio pressure, and rumor. Reeves's death invites suspicion and primes us for Marlene Dietrich's wartime secrets waiting to be revealed. Number 8, Marlene Dietrich.
Et je suis très heureuse parce qu'à ce moment, c'est un disque qui a beaucoup de succès.
She left Germany, but didn't leave the fight behind. Marlene Dietrich refused Hitler's regime, became an American citizen, and volunteered with the OSS during World War II. She recorded anti-Nazi German-language albums for the U.S. intelligence branch and traveled through war zones entertaining troops. Files later reveal the FBI investigated whether she acted as a secret American agent. Nazi officials even tried to recruit her to return as a propagandist, but she turned them down. Some historians argue she supplied intelligence on liberated regions of OSS handlers. Her life shows how a star's public glamour hid clandestine heroism. The next story's whispers will show power and endurance. Spencer Tracy's love with Katharine Hepburn. Number 7, Spencer Tracy.
You better not worry so much about tax reduction until we accomplish some of the things we have to accomplish.
He commanded the screen, but his heart whispered a secret. Spencer Tracy remained married his whole life, yet After his death, correspondence and testimonies confirmed a 27-year affair with Katharine Hepburn, a woman both adored and one he could never fully claim. Tracy, a devout Catholic, refused to divorce and never made their relationship public. Hepburn cooked for him, cared for him in illness, and even stayed away from his funeral out of respect for his wife. Some also claim hidden letters pointed to romantic involvement beyond the platonic. This clandestine bond of devotion and sacrifice frames the kind of truths we begin to uncover with Natalie Wood. Number 6, Natalie Wood.
Oh, but I can be a femme fatale, too. Why, in Rebel Without a Cause, I play a very bad girl.
Her death shocked the world, but layers keep unfolding. Natalie Wood died in 1981 from drowning off Catalina Island. The case was first labeled accidental, but decades later the investigation reopened. Critics pointed to missing witnesses, contradictory testimonies from her husband, Robert Wagner, and co-star Christopher Walken, and a reclassification of undetermined. Rumors persist. Was she pushed? Did she fall? A recorded 911 call mentioned a body in the water, but no definitive answers emerged. Friends told reporters she feared leaving her marriage after old conflicts resurfaced. Her death remains unsolved, yet her ghost still haunts Hollywood mysteries. The next entry peels back more public facade, Hedy Lamarr's hidden genius. Number 5, Hedy Lamarr.
I don't know what is an image. I mean, what's your image, Woody?
It's mine. She performed in elegant gowns, but she also invented the future. Hedy Lamarr, celebrated for her beauty, co-patented a frequency-hopping spread spectrum system in 1942 with avant-garde composer George Antheil. That technology later became foundational for Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, GPS, and secure military comms. She did this while under contract with MGM, with no public credit. Her studios suppressed her inventions to focus on her star image. Decades later, in the 1990s and 2000s, she finally received recognition, awards, honorary degrees, and acknowledgement in tech history. Many tech experts say modern wireless communication owes a debt to her hidden brilliance. Her story proves that a glamorous face can mask a brilliant mind. Below, number 4, hides even deeper personal tragedy in a man known for his fragility. Number 4, Anthony Perkins.
Actors, and that may be because they haven't realized how long it takes and how much it...
He made horror iconic, but hid heartbreak and illness until the end. Anthony Perkins died in 1992 from AIDS-related pneumonia, but the public only learned of his diagnosis weeks before his death. He's said to have checked into hospitals under aliases for 2 years, shielding himself from tabloid exposure. In his posthumous biography, Split Image, 1996, the world finally sees how tense his life was. Closeted love affairs, studio pressure demanding he stay straight, and a relationship with Tab Hunter, suppressed by Paramount. An eerie detail: Perkins learned of his HIV status via tabloid leaks before confirming it himself. The layers of secrecy that define Perkins's life slide us toward Rock Hudson, the man whose hidden disease rattled Hollywood's foundations. Number 3, Rock Hudson.
And I love London so as much as I can, yes. But it can't be easy for you to be anonymous.
He played all the romantic leads, but hid agony inside. Rock Hudson died in 1985, but the truth of his AIDS battle only surfaced at the very end. He postponed announcing his disease until reports leaked, making him one of the first major celebs to be publicly associated with AIDS. Before that, he lived a double life, same-sex liaisons concealed beneath his macho leading man persona. He even sent anonymous exposure letters to former partners before finally denying his diagnosis publicly in the last days. His death acted as a flashpoint, forcing Hollywood and the public to confront AIDS stigma head-on. From Hudson's hidden crisis, we move into the bizarre scandal of a comedy legend whose body was stolen after death. Number 2, Charlie Chaplin.
Life can be free and beautiful, but we have lost the way. Greed has poisoned men's souls.
He told jokes, but the punchline after his death was unbelievable. Charlie Chaplin passed away in 1977, beloved as one of film's greatest pioneers. But in 1978, grave robbers exhumed his coffin in Switzerland, demanding ransom. Swiss police scrambled to recover it in a bizarre midnight operation. Authorities later caught the culprits, buried him again under concrete, and installed 24/7 guards. The world gasped. This was no Hollywood scandal, but real-life macabre theft. Chaplin's post-mortem ordeal offers shock, but the ultimate twist awaits at number 1, a scandal once treated as irreversible injustice. Number 1, Fatty Arbuckle.
Well, that's an eye with a hook on each end. I beg your pardon. Pardon me.
His legacy was destroyed, but history may finally set him right. Roscoe Fatty Arbuckle was tried 3 times in 1921 and 1922 for raping and causing the death of Virginia Rapé. The first 2 trials ended in hung juries. The third acquitted him, with the jury even apologizing in writing. Yet his career and reputation never recovered. Many films were banned. He was blacklisted by Will H. Hay's Morality Code. Decades later, scholars and film historians re-examined trial transcripts, pointing out flawed testimony, media hysteria, and possibly motives of jealousy or manipulation. Some now argue Arbuckle was victimized by sensational press and moral panic. His name, once synonymous with scandal, begins to emerge as a tragic scapegoat. If these shocking old Hollywood secrets blew your mind, wait until you see what we uncover in our next video. Hit like, subscribe, and ring that bell so you never miss another hidden story from Hollywood's glittering, scandal-filled past.